Welcome back to Football Manager with FC Groningen in Holland. We are near the end of the January transfer window, and I didn't realise, but apparently Holland has a winter break. It's only like 2 weeks, but we had a winter break. I arranged a couple of friendlies and some injuries took place. Because the transfer window was open, we've made some signings. They've all been loan signings. First up, I said I was getting this player. Turns out it's actually the 1st of June, or July, sorry, in 2018, not the 1st of January. Also, they don't rate him very highly. Saying that, they do rate him highly, but he's got quite a few cons. Lack of composure hinders any skill element to his game. Well, maybe we can improve that. The players that have come in, there are 3 in total. First up was Franco Lopez from River in Argentina? Yes, must be Argentina. 19-year-old striker. I think I may have showed you him earlier on in the save. I tried to sign him back at the start of the season on loan. Didn't want to join. He has joined now on a backup contract, so if he doesn't play, he doesn't play. Next up is 24-year-old Spanish central midfielder Inigo Ruiz de Galarreta. Probably going to need to change that down a little bit. He's come in on loan from Barcelona until the end of the season. He doesn't look as good as he did when I first got him, but if Barcelona signed him, I imagine he's probably quite a good footballer. And the final player to come in is Michael Crescence? Sure, Michael Crescence, the French midfielder. He can also play up front if you really need him to. He's come in on loan from Borussia Mönchengladbach in Germany. Again, looks like a decent young player. He's actually probably better than I thought he was. So, I was probably going to be playing Galarreta, whatever his name is, but looks like this guy might actually be the one getting the games. Quick rundown of the fixtures then since the last episode. We finished it with a 2-2 draw against ADO Den Haag. Next up was a trip to Roda JC, where we end up losing this one 3-1. Van Velzen, Avidajaj, and Alsa, I think, probably, with the 3 goals for Roda JC in the first half. In the second half, Joel Donald scored the 45th minute, which is technically before their 3rd goal, but we were 3-0 down. Doesn't matter. Joel Donald scoring another goal. Then a trip to Excelsior, which was a 1-1 draw. It was a pretty dull game. We did pick up a lot of injuries from this one, which was quite annoying. Mike van Dwenen with the goal for them on 81 minutes. Mimoun Mahi pulls one back on the 88th minute. We should have beaten them. We were the much better side. And like I said, injuries. Lots of injuries. And then we FM'd PSV. A 2-0 victory. We had 4 shots. They had 25 shots. We beat them 2-0. Marco van Ginkel with an own goal. It wasn't Van Ginkel. It was, I think Mahi had a shot, and I think it deflected off Van Ginkel and went in. Mahi then gets a goal as well. We also picked up 3 injuries in this one. You'll see there, Oga Stacer van Lingen, the centre-back, he played because of injuries. Mahi got himself injured. Veldwijk got himself injured again. After the shock victory against PSV, we almost had a shock defeat against Sparta. We were 2-0 down after 18 minutes. Fred Friday with both the goals. I've had a look at Fred. He's a very good footballer. I kind of want to sign him. We then do bring it back very late on in the second half. We got the majority of our goals. Tom van Weert scored on the 23rd minute, making it 2-1. Then Joel Donald makes it 2-2, sorry, on the 58th minute. Gregor Breinberg with a penalty on the 80th minute. Van Weert gets his second goal on the 89th minute, and Kasper Oldenburger on the 91st minute also gets a goal, giving us a very comfortable 5-2 victory there. Forgot to mention, in the PSV game, also Sergio Pat saved a penalty. Then we played a couple of mid-season friendlies. First up was this one against GVVV. Don't know who they are. Lots of injuries in that one. Oldenburger, Bakuna, Hotic and Veldwijk get injured in that. Then we went and played Ludogorets, 0-0 draw, no injuries in this one. And then back into the league, where we draw 1 apiece with Willem II, who are a side down the wrong end of the table. Can't seem to beat sides down the wrong end of the table. Gregor Breinberg opened the scoring on 3 minutes with a penalty. Fernando Lewis gets the equaliser for them on 50. In the match, Dino Hotic managed to pick up a concussion, which means he's out for a few more weeks, which will explain the starting lineup that we're going to go for today against Herecles. The last time we played Herecles, it wasn't actually on camera, and they beat us. They didn't deserve to beat us, but they beat us. They are still down the wrong end of the table in 17th place. I need this to be a win. The starting lineup we are going to go for is as follows. In goal is Sergio Pat. Back four of Zifweek, Teweirik, Larson and Van Knife. Teweirik I've changed to be a defensive centre-back because he's much better. Well, he's a natural defensive centre-back as opposed to a central defender where he's not. Could be a very big mistake. Midfield pairing of Bakuna and Breinberg. The two wingers on the right-hand side is going to be Kasper Oldenburger. On the left-hand side, playing as an inside forward, is Mimoun Mahi. I normally keep him as a winger on support, but I realise he can play natural inside forward on support on the left-hand side, so maybe he might end up cutting inside and doing some business from that. The strike force is going to be Lars Veldwijk and Joel Donald, who's actually scored the same amount of goals as Tom van Weert, but only started 2 games. So I'm going to give him another couple of starts. Just fixed the subs bench as well. So Crescence, Lopez, and the other guy isn't on there because he's down here injured slightly. There we go. Right, the new guys are on the bench. Herecles coming out with a very defensive formation. 3 central defenders, 2 wing backs, 3 central midfielders. Going to be difficult to break down, but hopefully Oldenburger and Mahi can get in behind the wing backs. And hopefully the height and pace of Veldwijk and Donald will nullify their 3 centre backs. Look at me with my fancy white suit. I mean, I feel like it's probably a bit extravagant, but it kind of works. It doesn't work at all, does it? First highlight of the game. It's been going on for quite a while now, and we've misplaced a pass. So this looks like it's actually going to be attack. Brukers forward to Navratil. Glanden's in, not Glanden, Gladden's in. He's hit it over the bar. That was awful football. Good start. Looking at the league table down the bottom, a win here will move us into second place. I completely forgot to mention, we're still sat third place in the table, and no highlights. No highlights this game. 30 minutes in, literally no highlights. Nothing is happening. We've had another shot. There's been 5 shots in total, all game. Oh, 6. We've finally got a highlight. Proper with the free kick, who's not Davy Proper. It is his brother. Not sure what his name is. Darry. Runs out to the left wing, plays it back inside. Not going to try and pronounce his name. Durate being pushed back towards his halfway line. Put some pressure on him. Proper. Through ball out to Brokers. Brokers forward Navratil. Navratil to Glanden. It's not Glanden, it's Gladden. Oldenburger nips in Zifweek. Hoofs it upfield. Does find Joel Donald. Breinberg in the middle. I think Breinberg's been a very good signing for me. Mahi controls it as the inside forward. Ball out by Bakuna to Zifweek. Take around his man. He's not taken around. He's crossed it in. And Lars Veldwijk at the back post makes it 1-0. Our first highlight of the game. The first proper highlight of the game. 38 minutes. We are 1-0 up against probably one of our 14 different bogey teams. I say 14 different bogey teams. We've actually only lost 4 games this season. So I'd hardly say they're a bogey team. They're one of our 4 bogey teams. Half time. It is 1-0. It's not exactly been an exciting game, has it? But because we are winning, I'm not going to change anything up, so we're just going to go straight on into the second half. Van Knife with a throw on 50 minutes. Veldwijk into Breinberg. Bakuna with a header. Donald's at the back. Donald's not going to get there. Needs to keep it in play. Runs it out wide. Zifweek's there if he needs him. Does find him. Back to Donald. Donald whips in across. Veldwijk's there. And Lars Veldwijk gets his second of the game. I think that's his 11th for the season? No, it's probably way more than that. I think he might be joint top scorer in the league again. I've just seen we are the top scoring team in the league by currently 4 goals. Ajax, who are winning the league, are clearly only winning it because they can defend really well. Just before the hour mark, we've got a highlight and it's going all the way back to the Herecles goalkeeper. De Buis, or Van den Buijs Castro with the goal kick upfield. It's not a goal kick. I'm terrible at commentating at the moment. Van Hintem to Van Uygen, Darry. Van Hintem again. I assume he's probably their left winger, not their... Oh no, he might be the wing back. Teweirik's not going to get there. And Durate, why did Teweirik not get there? It's 2-1. I'm not really sure. Do we stick with what we're doing? Because they're going to try and... No, you know what? We're going to go counter. Because I've been playing this whole game on attacking. They're now going to try and attack us. So hopefully we can get them on the break. 20 minutes of normal time to play. Donald is going to come off. And we're going to bring on Franco Lopez. I'm going to swap Mahi back over to his normal side. Brage is going to come on there as well. That'll do for now. 10 minutes left to play. Hopefully we don't get any more highlights and we pick up a nice 3 points. We do have a highlight. Zeefuik with 5 minutes left. Breinberg to Lopez. Veldwijk on a hat-trick. He's hit the bottom of the post. It's gone wide. 5 minutes of injury time. I'm not going to change anything. We're just going to run down the clock. I could do a sub. We've got a corner. Breinberg takes it. It's come out to Brage. Brage runs inside Veldwijk. He doesn't... Did he get there? I think he missed. Veldwijk missed. It said at the bottom you put money on him to score there. No, the ball was practically off the pitch. The goal kick goes upfield. Zeefuik out to Mahi. Mahi needs to go forward if he can. Plays it over the top. Lopez should be using his pace but doesn't want to. Hardveld back to the keeper, Castro. Back to Whitens. I say back to Whitens, he hasn't had it yet. Whitens, long ball upfield. Larson gets there. Back to Pat. Just smash it clear. Yes, he does. 30 seconds left. Mahi, he's been tripped. It's going to be a booking. Is it going to be... Yeah, it's just a yellow card. That's all right. I thought he was going to get sent off the way the ref ran over to him. 5 seconds to play. This should be the end of the game then. And it's going to be a 2-1 victory, unless something comes from this, against Herecles, who are a side who are actually fighting for something, and we don't normally get points from those. Oh, Peter Hoekstra, not a good team talk. You won at half-time either, wasn't very good. I'm going to jump forward to the end of... When are Feyenoord playing? Feyenoord are playing there, so the end of Sunday, so we can see where we sit after 20 games. After 20 games then, we find ourselves sat second place in the table. ADO Den Haag actually defeating Feyenoord away, which moves ADO Den Haag up into third place. The top of the table, well, second down to fifth, is really, really tight. Next, we have Vitesse, who are sat sixth place in the table. We kind of need to get 6 points from these 2 matches. We're on 3 more against Vitesse, and we should be guaranteeing Europa League. If we have a quick look at the rules for continental qualification, 1 team qualifies for the Champions Cup, which will be the champions. 1 team will qualify for the Champions Cup best placed second qualifying phase, so whoever finishes second will also get Champions League qualifying. Team in third will get Europa League. Team in fourth will get Europa League. Team in fifth might get Europa League, assuming someone in the Dutch Cup, who's left in this? Roda, well, basically, Ajax and PSV, if they win the Dutch Cup, it will go to fifth. If Roda or Heerenveen win the Dutch Cup, it will go to one of those 2. I will see you in a second for the Vitesse game. Welcome back. It's time for the Vitesse game. Before we get into the game, the transfer window has closed. No more signings, nobody left, which means we've kept Mahi for an entire season, which I didn't think was going to be possible. Both ourselves and Vitesse are on pretty decent form. Vitesse have only won 1 game of their last 5, but they've drawn 4. We've won 3 of our last 5 and drawn 2. They are chasing for that 5th place, and a win here for Vitesse could technically put them into 5th, above PSV. The starting lineup that we are going to go for today against Vitesse is as follows. In goal is Sergio Pad, back 4 of Zeefuik, Tiwairik, Larsen and Van Nijve. They are the defenders. That is our back 4. Midfield pairing of Breinberg and Croissant, because Bakuna has gone and got himself injured and he's out for quite a while, I think. He's out for 5 to 6 weeks with a double hernia. So we ain't seeing him for probably all of February and most of March. The wingers return to normal. Mahi moves back out onto the right-hand side. Dino Hotic is going to be on the left-hand side. He is slightly injured. Why is he an inside forward? He should be a winger on support. There you go. He is still slightly injured with his concussion, but it's a concussion and he's not real. If he was real, I wouldn't want to play him because he could possibly die, but he's not real in this scenario. Strike force of Joel Donald and Lars Veldwijk. I'm tempted to drop Donald and put old Van Weert back in, but I want to give Donald another game. I think he just didn't have a good game. Interestingly, in the transfer window, there's been quite a lot of interesting transfers out of the Eredivisie. So I think Ajax lost De Ligt, Thomas Butnik, who I think is Vitesse. I think he's now gone as well. There were a couple of other players who left, went to like Spain and England and things like that. So the league is considerably weaker, but our team isn't. So we might actually be able to take this opportunity and close the gap a little bit on Ajax. Probably not. I don't know whether it's annoying you as much as it's annoying me, but when we wear our white kit, we don't actually have any squad numbers on the back. Well, we do, but they're just white. And the back of the shirt is white. which isn't normal. Zeefweek with a throw. Breinberg to Donald. Donald in the middle to Hotic with his concussion. Veldwijk's there on the half volley. 7 minutes on the clock. 1-0 up away against Vitesse. This isn't going to do anything in terms of league position for us, but it will close the gap a little bit. The gap now is actually down to just 4 points. Obviously, they still have a game to play, but we are getting there. Could we win the league? Don't say it. Free kick from Vitesse has gone out wide to Lindsay. Butner crosses in. Palacios is at the front. It is 1 apiece. Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have said about winning the league. I'm keeping an eye on Dino Hotic. His condition obviously wasn't particularly great at the start of the game, what with him recovering from a concussion and all. It is dropping, but it's not dropping anywhere near as much as I thought it would. I thought he'd be at like 50% by half-time. There's still 10 minutes to play. It is half-time. It is 1 apiece. Joel Donald, apparently, is not having any chances at all. So, that is your day over, Joel. And we're going to bring on Tom Van Weert. Do I keep Dino Hotic on? Let's keep Hotic on for a bit. He's gone back up to 65. 60 minutes in, and we're not getting any highlights. I'm going to move away from counter. I'm going to go attacking. See if that makes a difference. Immediately we get a highlight, but it looks like it's for Vitesse. Butner. Cross in. Tawirik gets it clear. Belhassani Van Bergen's there. And we are 2-1 down to Vitesse. This is not a good result if it stays this way. Breinberg with a free kick straight after the goal, but the counter-attack for Vitesse is on over the halfway line. Kruiswijk, Shaw, Serrero, Bruns. Oh, this is not good. We need to counter-attack their counter-attack. Van Bergen, the goal scorer, crossed in. Hotic is going to get it clear. Yes, he does. Mahi now. We're countering the counter. Veldwijk. Van Weert's in front if he needs him. Veldwijk slowly lumbering forward. Cuisance, the new signing. Van Weert's had a go and it's just gone wide. 20 minutes left to play. It's a free kick for Vitesse. It hits the wall. Belhassani's going to get it back though. Runs out to the left wing. Crossed in early to Wyrick. Heads it clear. Belhassani has another go. Linson's at the back. We're 3-1 down to Vitesse. Why are we 3-1 down to Vitesse? Hotic is going to come off. Are we just defending badly? Zeefweek apparently not playing very well, but I have no other right backs. Breinberg can come off for Memisevic. He wants to get some more games. Problem is, he's a defensive midfielder and I don't play defensive midfielders. We're going to go overload. There's just over 10 minutes left to play. Nothing is happening in this game and it looks like it's going to end up with a 3-1 victory for Vitesse. Does move them up into 5th place, pushes PSV outside of European qualification, but not a good result for us because it could mean by the start of next episode we could be down into 4th. Final highlight of the game, Mahi runs the ball over the halfway line. Even if we got anything from it, it'll be too little too late. It is too little too late. It is a 3-1 defeat against Vitesse. So that was on the Friday night. Saturday, there are some big games. ADO, Den Haag and Vitesse can both leap over us. ADO are playing Herecles, so they probably will. Did I say Vitesse, ADO, Den Haag and Feyenoord? Sorry. Den Haag are playing Herecles, Feyenoord are playing VVV, so I think by the end of Sunday we will be down into 4th. Can you believe it? After the 2 games for Feyenoord and ADO Den Haag, we actually stay in 2nd place. PSV leap up into 3rd place now. So PSV completely forgot they were really involved. Beat PEC Zwolle 3-2. ADO Den Haag lost to relegation battlers Herecles 1-0. Then on the Sunday, VVV Venlo beat Feyenoord 1-0 as well. We're still 2nd place, but it does mean now Europa League is not a certainty because of the defeat to Vitesse. Next episode, I was going to jump forward a little bit, but looking at the fixtures, we've got Feyenoord and ADO Den Haag. So the next episode will be the next 2 games, because if we lose them both, we could suddenly drop massively down this list. So they are hugely important in the context of the season. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Football Manager 2018 with FC Groningen. If you did enjoy, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you for the Feyenoord and the ADO Den Haag games. Got there in the end. Good job.